This is a short introduction to the material in Unit 5. Shortly after the end of World War II, a number of countries signed the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, usually called GATT or GATT. It's an international agreement that sought to eliminate barriers to trade among the signatory nations that had developed in the pre-war period. Those countries continued to hold trade negotiations throughout the years. Those trade negotiations were called rounds to discuss ways to address new and continuing trade restrictions and barriers to trade. The last of those trade negotiations, called the Uruguay Round, which was completed in 1993, resulted in a major revision and expansion of GATT, which evolved into the World Trade Organization that operates today. Whereas GATT had mainly dealt with trade in goods, the World Trade Organization and its agreements now cover trade in goods plus trade in services and trade in intellectual properties. Other trade agreements have come along called free trade agreements, which complement the work of the World Trade Organization. A free trade agreement is a pact or a treaty between two or more nations intended to reduce barriers to imports and exports among those nations. Under a free trade agreement, goods and services can be bought and sold across international boundaries of the countries involved, with little or no government tariff, quota, subsidies, or prohibition that will inhibit the exchange of things across those international borders. Examples of free trade agreements include the European Union-Japan Economic Policy Agreement, the United States and Australia Free Trade Agreement, and probably better known is the North American Free Trade Agreement called NAFTA, which is an agreement between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. There's more about all of these subjects in the material in Unit 5.